Maple Leaf basketball is on slate tonight. It's the Bulldogs and the Maple Leafs here on TV 50. Jacob Beath, I'm Zach Mackey, and Keith Kennett for this evening's crew. The Leafs get the opening tip. Drew Himmelman, the 6'7" junior, as he does most times.
Yeah, Zach, Drew in the middle is going to have a big mismatch inside. Only a 6'3" senior guarding him tonight, so he should have a big ball game.
Rebound, Himmelman puts it up, and he uses the height to an advantage early and gets 2 early points for the Leafs. The Leafs are 9-13 on the year, a record that they would like to see better, but a slow start with those football guys, it really hurt them in the beginning, and now they've gone on a little bit of a drought here lately that they got to kick out of, and they're hoping to do it tonight.
Yeah, hoping to do it tonight, but you got to remember the last 2 teams they played them in the top of the conference in Ottawa and Rock Ridge, #1 team in the state. So this could be a big bounce back game for them and a revenge game because they lost the last time these 2 teams played.
Jake, talk about it though. Rock Ridge, you were at that game, lost by 15, but you almost are counting that as a win the way Geneseo lost to Kewanee. Kewanee lost to Rock Ridge 102-48, and the Leafs only losing by 15. They kind of count that as a moral victory.
Yeah, you saw it as a moral victory, but I was just excited to see the Leafs really starting to play a little bit better basketball. Drew played really well against the Division I standout, Ethan Happ.
Yeah, he did, and we'll see tonight with the mismatch as
that's one player need to get going, though. Milky missed our 3 already. You got to get him going from 3-point range. Him and Rusk have been very cold outside the last couple games. If they can get them going, they're a dangerous team in the regional.
You talk about Rusk and Milky, both averaging 6 points a game, and something that they like to see a little higher. Rusk averaging 2 rebounds a game, and so is Milky. Yeah, pops it outside, and there it is. It's Nolan Sokol there, and he's a guy that we're going to be saying a lot tonight for the Bulldogs, a guy that they really rely on.
Yeah, Zach, him and Max Vickers are 2 great shooters out there, and they're going to shoot the basketball a lot. They like to shoot that 3-point ball, and the Maple Leafs really got to close out well.
Ethan Radu down inside, 2 points, and puts the Leafs up by 1 here, 4-3 on top. Wide open down low, and Luke Schneider is charged with a foul.
Something he can't do early, Zach. He's gotten in foul trouble a lot lately. Fouled out in the last ball game against Rock Ridge. You don't want him fouling out again because not a very deep bench for the Maple Leafs.
No, Coach Storm keeps it to about 7-guy bench, maybe 8, I would say, with Wolak, Humphreys, and Brovada seeing most of the playing time with the starting 5. The Bulldogs are coming in with a 7-13 record on the year, 1-5 in conference play. Both teams 1-5 in conference. So a conference win here tonight would put the Maple Leafs ahead of the Bulldogs. Since that head-to-head, right now the Bulldogs are ahead because of the head-to-head, and with the record going up for the Leafs, they would jump ahead.
Yeah, big game for conference standings, but I think this is more important for regional seeding because the Leafs right now are trying to beat out Allman for that 3 seed, so hopefully they get an easier team there in the first round, that first round bye.
Yeah, and I talked with the guys, if they could have 1 game back, they want that Allman game back. That was one of those games that they didn't think they brought it all at Allman, and they would like that one back.
Yeah, Zach, always a big rivalry in that one, and I think it'd be an exciting game here at the regional right here at Geneseo High School if they got a rematch going.
Yeah, quite to the... As Ethan Radu puts it up, won't go. Rebound Snyder. Throws up his own, won't go. Rebound Pirates. But Leafs are getting to host boys basketball regional home, girls basketball regional home. Hopefully, if the girls do advance, which they should, into the regional finals, we'll have the game on TV 50 next Friday.
Yeah, the girls should be advancing. I think they have a very nice field for them. They've beaten 3 of the teams in that field, and they... one of the teams they haven't played yet, so it'll be exciting to see if they can make it onto the sectionals this year.
5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Leafs are all tied up with the Bulldogs for all. It's going to be a travel call on Godfrey as Wolak checks in.
That's the second one on him, so you got to watch him early. Referees must not like a step he's taking. And also, you got to watch Ethan Radu. He had a lot of travels in the past game.
He did.
He had 4 travels in that game against Rock Ridge. We'll see if he can clean up that little extra step that the officials don't like.
Yeah, and even before that, the last game that was that we did, I believe it was in Dixon, that there were a lot of travels called on both sides. Foul called there on the Bulldogs, called on goal line number 5, Phillips. That's his first, team's first. Rusk, one of those juniors, not afraid to shoot the ball. He'll shoot it, and He's got 6 points. He's a guy that shoots from outside the three-point line, though, usually when he is shooting.
Yeah, he shoots from outside the three-point line, but I think he really needs to evolve his game this next offseason. I think he needs to be able to develop a little bit of a drive game and see if he can really get players to come out on him and get easy shots inside.
3-ball Rusk. In and out. Kevin Wolak getting some ups there, gets his hands on it, but goes into the hands of a Bulldog.
Yeah, seeing early hustle from Wolak, and he's the hustle guy out there on the floor for the Leafs, and he'll continue to do that all game long.
Rideau bringing it down. It's tipped around. Recovers over to Wolak. That was a nice shot fake. The Bulldogs bid on it, and Kevin was able to go up and get the and one basket. He'll go for a three-point play here.
Yeah, it's that second straight game. Wolak not known for an offensive player, but that's his second straight game. He's had man one in it, so doing a good job finishing inside, really working on that offensive game.
Shot's good. Three-point play for Kevin Wolak. 7-4. Leafs lead it with 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. Last time these two teams met, you tipped on a little bit, Jake. Streator won it 57-54 back in January 17th. Since that game, the Bulldogs have been 0-3. Haven't won a contest since they beat the Leafs, but the Leafs themselves are pretty similar to that. Only 1-3 since then. They've gone on a little bit of a drought. When you talk with these players, they want to get back onto the winning route.
Yeah, both teams getting a little bit frustrated in the losing end. They want to start winning some basketball games, and this is a great time for both those teams to start.
Ethan Rideau, jumper, won't go. One thing, though, is that this record will not describe this Maple Leafs team, and they're a much better team than a 9-13 team.
Yeah, Zach, they have a lot of confidence out there on the court. They've had some issues with chemistry earlier in the season, but I really think they're starting to pick it up here in the most important time. And I think these next three games will really tell a tale on how they're going to do in this regional final.
Yeah, we got to talk about Coach Storm has really, when things weren't going good, really done a great job at trying to turn things around, doing everything he can to get these players behind each other and get things turned around for the Leafs program.
Zach, also got to mention last time these two teams met, Sokol had 27 points, and he was a big difference in that one. The Leafs got to lock down on that.
Milky for three early, and that puts the Leafs up by 6. They're pouring it on here early.
You got 1-2-2 trap look, putting a lot of pressure on the guards that aren't great ball handlers for Streator. They're more shooting guards.
Pushing it up to Rideau. Rideau over to Milky. He's got the guy on his back. Going to be a foul call on the Bulldogs. Head coach over there for the Bulldogs, Bo Dottie. Head coach for your Leafs is Coach Brad Storm. After this will be his second season back after taking a little bit of a break and then coming back to coach the Leafs.
Good job by Himmelman, tipping that ball out, just giving his guards to get a second shot.
Oh my goodness, long three by Greg Rusk. Volleyball line almost. Won't go.
Greg loves to take those shots from way deep, and he definitely has the range to make them. He's just got to get hot. Lately, he's been pretty cold shooting the rock, and if he can get his shot to go, he's a very dangerous player out there.
Wolak, cross court to Milky. Back to Rusk. Under 2 minutes to play here. Down inside, Wolak, 2 points.
How many times are you going to see Kevin Wolak being the leading scorer for the Leafs so far?
Yeah, and that he is, as Coach Dottie's going to take a timeout early for the Bulldogs. He's going to take a full one so he can sit down and talk with his team. So will Coach Storm, as Coach Storm brings out the drawing board here tonight. It's been a long stint since we've had a home game here at Geneseo High School. I haven't had one until back in the beginning of January. And, they already had a long stint kind of planned into the schedule, but then was canceling that Sterling game. It really switched things up, and they haven't been home for a month and a half, a long time for a home basketball game for these boys. Yeah,
it's a long time, but it also sets you up for the end of the season. They have their regionals at home, then they got 3 straight home games before regionals. So this could be 6 straight games for the Maple Leafs here at home. So this could be an exciting run for them if they can really get going.
Yeah, they're fun to watch out there with Drew Himmelman and Ethan Rideau and staying in most of the contests. And you got your guys like Milky and Rusk and Wolak and Snyder all getting in there, rounding it out. 1:49 left to go in the first quarter. The Leafs lead it 12-4. over to the Bulldogs. Come back to play.
At least trying to run a little bit of a trap. I've noticed so far, Streator's really having a tough time handling the basketball. They have a lot of shooters out there, Zach, but no ball handlers or passers, really.
Godfrey with it into the hands of Milky, fighting for it down on the ground, and it's going to be a jump ball. It will stay with Streator.
Nice aggressive play there by Olsen, really getting to the floor, and he's the only one on the floor, really, and then Milky dived on top. Maple Leafs could have got possession there, but instead of jump ball, and Streator's going to retain possession. Purdue really playing great defense on Sokol, though, so far. Really not letting him get any open shots.
Playing that tight defense is Wolak. Going inside, nice little move by Vickers, the junior, 6'3". Two juniors matching up. Drew Himmelman and Vickers.
At least not going to the bench, though, very early. The only player in there so far is Kevin Wolak. We're already 7 minutes into the game.
Down to 55 seconds on the clock. And Coach Storm does go to the bench now as he puts Levine, Bravada, and Humphreys all into the contest.
A little bit of a matchup zone here, look, Zach. Really trying to deny Himmelman inside, not let him get open shots.
They are. Playing really tight defense is Olsen. Down inside, Purdue. Won't go. Rebound, Himmelman, and that's what is so good for the Leafs. Whenever you can't get that jumper, Himmelman's there to save you.
That's just pure size advantage there, Zach. Nothing else but that. Tallest player out there is 6'3", and I don't even know if he's 6'3".
Sokol's got it. The 6'1" guard for the Bulldogs.
Hoping for that last shot. Look for Sokol to try and pop out here for a three.
Down to 3 seconds. Shot won't go by Godfrey. And that's how it ends, although there will be a foul called right at the end. We'll shoot the fouls as the teams will get a little extended break to talk with their teams. Going to the line will be Godfrey.
I think that's the wrong player right there, Zach.
I think
that
so,
should be
too.
number 34, Olsen, on the rebound, but got to give it to the original shooter.
I guess that's one of the times when you put your best free throw shooter out there and the officials can't see him. And Godfrey steps up. Now the coach is saying, what is happening? Coach Dottie isn't sure what's happening. Coach Storm saying that's not the guy who was fouled.
Leafs players know that, and the other coach, Coach Dottie's looking for a technical over here because you can't go on the court when they're shooting free throws.
Well, Coach Dottie wants the band to stop playing, is what he wants. He's pointing up at the band to tell them to stop playing. That's not the right shooter shooting. My goodness, we've had some weird plays today. We've done 2 games. I haven't seen this all year. And last night we had a technical wrong player in the book. Tonight, talking about who should be shooting free throws. We said this would come in handy. Our officiating crew tonight, Gary Bolins, Lee Husing, and Lee Eck. And Coach Storm is saying this is not the right guy. And
yeah, just a quick mistake over there for the band, though. I mean, playing there in the break right there.
Let's hope nothing happens here. So, end of the first, 14-8. The Leafs are on top. We'll be back here on TV 50.
This TV 50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV 50 telecast.
After a little controversy at the end of the first quarter, the Leafs still have that lead, 14-8 over the Bulldogs.
14-8, and offensively in that first quarter, they really look crisp out there, Zach. I think you're firing on all cylinders and really getting a lot of shots to go.
Inside to Levine, getting some playing time in the second half of this season is Levine.
Yeah,
Been a guy to go in and give Drew Himmelman a breather.
Yeah, it's tough for Drew to play that whole game, especially with that 6'7" frame out there. You got to be in great physical shape, and it's great to have Levine on the bench, a 6'5" player, to give him a break.
He's just running all around, setting picks out there as Levine.
He sets hard screens out there. He got called for 2 moving screens over there in Rock Ridge. He's definitely a physical player out there on the court.
3-ball Bravada, the freshman throws it up, won't go. Rebound by Humphreys. Nice athletic play running out of nowhere to save that one.
Now, right now, our only starter on the court is Ethan Radu, and you do not see that very often out there for the Leafs. Usually you have mostly starters out there and then a couple players off the bench.
Ethan Radu will play just about this entire contest if I could see the future.
No, he's basically their only point guard player out there, though, Zach. And we didn't have him for the first half of the season. That really hurt the Maple Leafs record early.
Yeah, trying to find a ball handler like Ethan Radu is pretty difficult. Dribbling around are the Bulldogs. Leafs guarding them really tight. They're having to stay way outside that volleyball line just about.
Yeah, because they know the Streator team. They're basically all shooters, and they really like to shoot that basketball from anywhere on the court.
Trying to go inside, won't go. Couch passes it up to Phillips. Phillips driving. Bounces all around except in the rim, and Levine with the rebound. 6:05 left to go in this first half, and it's 8-14. The Leafs are on top of the Bulldogs. Travel call.
You know, Zach, now that Himmelman's out of the game right now, Streator's not in that matchup zone. They're in that man-to-man look.
Yeah, they changed things up without the big guy inside. And 14-8. Leafs still lead it, though. 5:55 left to go in the first half.
No,
Setting picks.
Can't keep talking about how good Ethan Radu's really doing on Sokol right now. Usually he shoots the ball a lot, and he's only had 1 shot because Ethan Radu is all over him.
Phillips comes up with a shot there, puts it within a 4-point ball game. Pressing the offense are the Leafs.
I'm really surprised to see Himmelman not in the game yet here. Really riding Levine for a long time in the second quarter.
Coach Storm must be liking what he sees. Keeping Levine in there, another junior, as long as he can.
Yeah, very young lineup on the floor right now. Three juniors, a freshman, and then a senior out there. So
Phillips pulls up the jumper, won't go. Tight man-to-man defense, the Bulldogs play.
And Bulldogs not letting that many open outside shots either. Really playing tight both ways. Trying to force them to go inside right now to Levine.
Must look like he wanted it, but not quite. Dribbling inside, Radu, and now it's Rusk. 4:40 left to go here in the first half. 14-10. It's still the Leafs on top. They've had the lead for most of this contest. Levine making a nice little move, but it's going to be called a traveling, and he'll come back out as Drew Himmelman's back ready to go.
That was a really good move there by Levine. Really
It was.
a nice athletic move. Just took 1 too many steps and almost got that one to go for an and one, I thought.
It was close, and these officials, they're watching that travel call. Down to 4:20 left to play in the first half. 14-10. It's the Leafs on top. Bravada playing the tight defense on Vickers. Stolen by the Leafs. This is where they capitalize on those turnovers.
Yeah, they got to get out in the break. Right now their half-court offense just is non-existent, just nothing going.
Humphreys spin move into the hands of the Bulldogs. Wide open hoop for Sokol. 2 points for him.
Maple Leafs got to get back on defense. Transition defense has been an issue all season long, and you're seeing it right there.
Sokol likes using that right side. You saw him dribbling on the left side of the hoop and decided to go under the hoop so he could get a right-handed layup in.
Yeah, Sokol really doesn't have a great inside game. He really only an outside shooter, but went inside there a little bit and had to go to the right side. Must not have much of a left-handed layup.
Bravada, three-pointer. Won't go. Rebound is by Phillips. Three-pointer Bulldogs off the mark. It will stay with the Bulldogs, hit out of bounds. Pretty low-scoring affair, though, for boys basketball here. 12 and 14. We saw a low-scoring affair last night in the girls' game we covered on TV 50, and we're seeing the same results tonight.
Actually, you know, that first quarter was pretty high scoring, but the Leafs haven't even scored here in the second quarter, Zach. They really got to get going on offense. You're 5 minutes in with no points.
Yeah, more than halfway done with the quarter. 3:02 to be exact. And haven't seen a point yet from the Leafs as there was a foul called on the Leafs. Going to the line is Vickers.
Vickers, another one of those good shooters out there for the Bulldogs. Also can work inside, though. He's the biggest player on their roster, and he's a guard. 6'3" player. I'm surprised they don't have him trying to play the center position that can shoot three balls. That'd be a big mismatch against Himmelman.
Free throws also good. Good from the free throw line.
A little bit of an 8-0 run here for the Bulldogs trying to get back in this one. They were down 14-6 early, and now it's an 8-0 run here in this second quarter.
Bravada making a nice move. Rebound, fighting for it is Drew Himmelman, and he went down to those knees and came up. He's going to be called with a travel.
I think he almost thought he was still in a catcher squat there, not on those knees, so he just got back up without having the travel called. But that's another travel on the Maple Leafs. I think that's about 5 or 6 already in this first half. They got to clean that up.
2:35 left to play in the first half. We're all tied up at 14 from Geneseo High School. Vickers' shot won't go. Milky was all over him, not letting him get a nice shot off, and Milky comes up with it. Leafs possession. Milky. Now it's Rusk. Bravada three, won't go, and that's going to be an over-the-back call. Drew Himmelman, he knew it when it happened, but it looks to be that the Bulldogs are really trying to shut Drew Himmelman out, making the Leafs' outside game open up, and the Leafs are going to have to open it up to start to keep going with a lead.
Yeah, they are going to have to open up that inside, and you know how you open up that inside is by those making those three-point shots, which they haven't done so far. And I was talking to Drew earlier today, and last game they really double-teamed him in the post and didn't let him get going. He only had 8 points against Streator in their first matchup, and they're shutting him down so far here tonight as well.
They know how to do it. It's going to be a travel call on the Bulldogs. Not many know how to, though. Drew Himmelman is averaging 17 points a game, and maybe even more importantly, 11 rebounds for the Leafs.
Wow, Zach, just looking on the floor, I think this is about the most physically small lineup we can put out there on the floor. Kevin Wolak is our center right now and about 6 feet tall.
Rush driving, 2 points. It gets it done though, Jake, as the Leafs get the first points of the ball game of the second quarter. Correct me there, with 1:30 left to go.
Yeah, finally ending that scoring drought, Zach. Finally, it's good to see Greg Russ going inside though too. Usually you don't see that from his game.
Driving. It's going to be a foul called inside.
Officials not afraid to blow that whistle here tonight. Definitely calling that travel and those fouls inside a lot.
Foul was called on Bravada. His second. He picked up 2 here in the second quarter. Team 6 will be shooting so far. Like to see, though, these officials have let the guys play. Not calling too many fouls.
Yeah, not calling too many fouls. It's just a lot of travel calls out there. A lot of turnovers both ways. A very sloppy game. I bet you both coaches won't be too happy at halftime with the offensive output and really have to try and put in some new sets in the second half.
1:20 left to go in the first half, and the Leafs lead it by 2. 16-14 with the ball. Trying to extend it to a 4-point lead. Rusk puts it up. A shot fake. Tries to go over to Milky. Hit out by a Bulldog.
That's where the backdoor cut would really look great right there from Milky. They're jumping passes all the time now, Zach, trying to force turnovers. Backdoor cut, that's a wide open layup.
Radu.
Just having a lot of time handling the ball right now. And there's
Wide
that backdoor
open.
cut.
You talked about it, and there it is. Backdoor cut. Ethan Radu, 2 points for him, and puts the Leafs up by 4. Down to 50 seconds on the clock. Do you see him hold it to wait for the last shot, Jake?
You know, Streator has been taking long possessions in the second half, but I think they'll try and hold it. But if they have an open shot at all, then they'll keep it. But
Ethan Radu won't let him. Driving to the hoop. Too hard off the glass, but it will stay with him. As it was last tipped out by a Bulldog. 33 seconds still left on the clock and ticking.
And Zach had 3 Bulldogs there fighting for the rebound. And the Leafs get fortunate, and I think they'll hold for the last shot here with 31 seconds left on the clock. Especially going up 4, going into halftime. I think they'll be happy with this. It's a very underrated Streator Bulldog team. I think they're a pretty strong team out there on the floor, Zach.
Well, a little bit of a push out there by Milky, but no call. Down to 13 seconds. Bravada with it.
Leafs
10
get
seconds.
the ball in the hands of Radu right here, and he's going to try and drive inside.
Senior leader, it looks like he is all by himself. 4 seconds. Driving. Out. Bravada. 3 to end the half. No. It won't end that way. As the shot just won't fall for the Leafs at the end. 18 to 14. Pretty good matchup here. Leafs lead it by 4. We'll be back. Second half action on TV 50.
This TV 50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV 50 telecast.
This Congratulations to Becky Daniels on being our 50-50 winner.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
Second half basketball back here on TV50. Zach Mackey, Jacob Beath, Keith Kennett for second half action. And the Leafs lead it 18-14. They went drought a little bit through the second quarter. End of the second quarter, though, they turned it back up.
Yeah, Zach, only 4 points in that second quarter, and they're still up 4. That's a pretty impressive stat right there.
Got the early lead in the contest, and that helped them throughout it. Sophomores were victorious tonight, 50-23. It wasn't much of a contest. Leafs had control the entire time.
Much more offensive than this one as well.
And not how we wanted to start the contest. Is this going to be an and one basket for Vickers?
You know, there's no denying that. I think in the second half that Vickers and Sokol both didn't do very much in that first half. They're going to get going here in the second half, and the Maple Leafs are going to have to match that intensity with Drew Himmelman and Ethan Radu on the offensive end.
Beath, I think they're going to have to find some ways to get shots, besides just going to Drew Himmelman, because it hasn't been working, Big.
No, Zach, right now they got to hit their outside shots in order to win this ball game. They hit outside shots. I mean, they're going to have to respect their outside shooting, and that's going to leave Himmelman wide open inside, one-on-one. He'll be able to take a 6'3" player.
Rusk, 3. Love to see him get going here, as that one won't go. Bulldogs regain possession, a little miscommunication, and it is saved by Olsen. 3 ball on its way. Nice shot by the junior. Vickers, 3 points. I'm sorry, actually it was Phillips, the junior.
Phillips is kind of an unknown player. I
He
don't remember playing him my freshman year when I used to play against Streator.
Back when you used to hit the hardwood. 6:54 left to go in the third quarter, and the Leafs lead it 18-20. The Bulldogs have came out hot out of the locker room.
Yeah, already 6 points coming out of the locker room. Maple Leafs got to match that intensity, though, right now. They're just no offensive intensity right now. And Himmelman's getting double-teamed inside. That's tough. Guys
everywhere on Himmelman. Rebound, Radu goes up. Now it's Himmelman, and he draws the foul.
Maple Leafs got to find offense besides him right now. They're triple teaming him in the post. You got to be able to hit your outside shots. Rusk, Radu, Milky, all got to hit from 3. And Bravada as well on the bench was cold in that first half.
Drew Himmelman. Free throw is good. He's got 5 of the night. Like to see him get going. He averages 17. Shot to make it 6 here. Free throw won't go. Drew struggled a little bit in Ottawa from the free throw line.
Yeah, Zach, but that's one part of his game that really has improved overall this season. His sophomore year, he really could not make free throws at all, and now he's turned into about a 60% shooter and really improving his free throw game.
Yeah, and Drew, a guy that won't settle, always trying to get better in the offseason and even in season, trying to improve on different aspects of his game.
Drew's also one of those players who looks to play the next level, so you always got to keep improving if you want to keep moving on past high school basketball, and Drew definitely has the skill set to do that.
He's got the talent and the body. 6:04 left to go in this third quarter, and the Leafs trail by 3 to the Bulldogs. Last time these two teams met up, Leafs lost 57-54 back in the middle of January. Hope to change the course tonight. offensive foul. And that's one of those things that Drew Himmelman's just a big body. When he gets moving there, I mean, he knocked the guy back. It's just one of those things. He's, pretty powerful out there.
Yeah, he's pretty powerful. You usually don't say that against other big guys because, I mean, he is not the heaviest guy out there on the floor, but he's really bodying up Olsen right now, really knocking him around a little bit. But I think that's 3 personal fouls on Drew, so he needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's an integral part of this team, and the Bulldogs are getting hot. It's Olsen, the senior.
They're going to hit those 3 balls, Zach, and the Maple Leafs got to fight back on offense. Only 1 point in the quarter is not going to work.
Rusk looks like he wanted it, not quite up top to Milky. Driving, stop, pop, there we go, rolls all around, and that time it goes through.
Good to see him hitting those jumpers. That's going to open up that inside lane. Easier for drives for Adu and easier for Himmelman to make post moves one-on-one.
So cool, can't do much as they have him in here at 6'1". I would say maybe 5'5". At the most, Drew Himmelman. There it is.
Finally, love to see him dunking there, Zach. That's beautiful.
We've talked about it, and he does it in front of the home crowd.
Only his 2nd dunk of the year, and that's his first dunk here at Geneseo High School.
Way to get the crowd into it as Rusk, not quite. That's one of those things where a dunk gets you 2 points, but it also gets you some momentum.
Yeah, momentum, exactly, but sometimes you lose it here on the defensive end as well because you're so excited with the dunk, but it's good to see Drew dunk, and he's got to get that to be a part of his game. And if he can dunk in the open court, it just makes him that much more of a versatile player.
Fun to watch, too. Explosive. Bringing it down to the Bulldogs.
Man-to-man defense from Geneseo, not changing anything up. Usually you'll see a zone here from Coach Storm around this time in the game. Trying to throw off Streator, but got to deny that outside ball so you can't run that 2-3. There's a 3-pointer from Vickers right there.
Back.
He can shoot the basketball.
5-point ball game. They answer back. Rightfully.
As I said, Zach, Vickers and Sokol getting going. Vickers, I think he has 11 now on the game, just really getting going in the third quarter already.
Rusk lobbing it up. Drew Himmelman not quite in the right position, though.
Yeah, not a smart possession there from the Maple Leafs. Right after that dunk, they're trying to get more momentum with their home crowd, and just not a good alley-oop from Rusk. A difficult look there for Himmel.
Purdue's got to watch out there. Coach Storm told him to calm down a little bit after that foul, kind of putting those hands up, and sometimes officials don't like that. All depends on that official.
Already 14 fouls on the Leafs. We could see a lot of free throws here in the second half if it's going to keep going this way. Not even only halfway through this third quarter, and you got 14 fouls.
Sokol, 3. He has not been able to get hot tonight. The Leafs have kept him from every shot attempt he has taken.
Not the Leafs, it's just Ethan Adu is all over him all night long, not letting him shoot that basketball and really giving it on the defensive end, but we got to get him going on the offensive end.
Well, Ethan Adu showing just not how much of an offensive threat, but defensive threat he can be as Milky throws it up.
2 not very smart possessions there from the Leafs, kind of forcing plays and forcing shots. Try and look for that open shot and try and take some more time from you.
And shot won't go for Phillips, and the Leafs are lucky as it was a wide open lane. Now Snyder's got the open lane, and he connects for 2 points. Back to a 2-point ball game, 25-27. Leafs still trail.
A good hustle back there by Snyder. No transition defense for Streator, and that's an easy bucket.
The open court for Ethan Adu, and there's 2 points for him, and we're tied up. Coach Dottie doesn't like what he sees as the Leafs go on a little run in the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, going a little bit of a run right there, and that's an exciting play for them. Ethan Adu on the fast break as well as Luke Snyder. And in that transition game, that's where the Leafs are at their best. And Drew Himmelman had a transition bucket. That's 8 points, though, and 6 of them are on transition to give him back in this ball game.
Exciting one tonight on hand, and then tomorrow night should be the same as Rochelle will travel to Geneseo tomorrow night. The boys, we said they've been a little dormant from home games, but they got plenty of them here as they'll take on Rochelle tomorrow, the Hubs. That game's to start at 6, the varsity contest.
The varsity contest will start at 6. Talking to Drew Himmelman earlier in the day, he said Rochelle is one of the better teams on the other side of the conference, actually on the bottom, kind of like the Leafs, though. So it could be an exciting contest again here tomorrow night at Geneseo High School.
2:45 left to go in this one in the third. We're tied at 27 all. as the Leafs break the huddle to get back to play here. Pretty exciting in the early goings of the third quarter. Drew Himmelman threw down a dunk, got the crowd into it here at Geneseo High School.
Yeah, and almost got that alley-oop to go, too. This place would have went crazy if he would have got 2 dunks in a game.
Look for him to do it, though, again, I think, in the fourth quarter, maybe even. I mean, he's got it in him, and that Coach Storm telling him not holding back whatsoever.
No, Zach, and this is a team you're going to do it against. If you have a 6'2" guy guarding you the whole time, that's exactly where you take advantage of it. And there's Ethan Radu again. That's his 3rd consecutive steal in the last 3 possessions.
Back-to-back, inside, 2 points, and that's one thing to get it. It's another thing to capitalize on it, and the Leafs have done it.
Ethan Radu on a 6-0 run by himself right now, really playing great on the defensive, and it's leading to his offensive game getting going too. He has 8 points.
Leafs defense is just hard-nosed tonight. Down inside, though, I spoke a little too soon as Olsen comes up with 2 points, ties it up at 29.
This is a good hedge by Drew Himmelman, but didn't get back on his guy, and it's an easy pick-and-roll opportunity there for the Bulldogs on the offensive end.
Drew Himmelman posting inside. 2 guys on him, up for the layup, 2 points.
Very nice to have a guy like that down low when you can just throw it up to him, and Streator doesn't have a guy that can jump that high.
No, throw it up to him and you know he'll make a good play with the ball. And Phillips has it. Count down to 140. Left to go in the third. Phillips driving, and that's what you don't want to do is when you foul them, Jake, you want to make sure they don't make that basket, but the Bulldogs capitalize on their end.
No, not a terrible Snyder there by Radu. I mean, not a terrible foul there by Radu. Snyder was going to foul him anyway under the basket, but Radu hit him early and got the foul on him, and he only has 2 personal, but the and one's just not the part you want right there.
Kevin Woolak checking back in, and early goings of the contest, he was the leading scorer for the Leafs. Ethan Radu has taken that spot over. He's got 8 right now, does Radu.
I think Himmelman has 9, too.
Does Himmelman have 9? It's hard to tell on that board if it's 9 or 5. So Himmelman actually going to be that leader with 9, and then Radu has 8.
Always at the top of the scorer leaders, though. They're their 2 go-to guys on the offensive end, and they're really coming through here tonight for the Leafs.
Not something you see normally. Drew Himmelman down inside, 2 points, but Ethan Radu sits down to take a little breather, something that doesn't happen usually.
You know, Zach, something I'd love to see right there. Drew Himmelman made the basket right there, and he looks right at the official, puts his hands up, looking for the foul as well. He's really starting to get aggressive in this ball game, and he's getting into it, and I love that from Drew, just showing that aggressive mentality.
Same emotions from Coach Storm, agreed with Drew there. Under a minute to go in the third. Counting down 55 seconds, driving. Vickers won't go. Himmelman with the rebound. Leafs lead it by 1 point, 33-32. And an exciting one from Geneseo High School. Down to 45 seconds.
Something I noticed late in this third quarter, Ottawa's taking that double team off Himmelman inside a lot of the time, and I think that's why Streator.
Yeah.
Red colors kind of gets me confused, but yeah, they're taking that double team off, and I think it's giving Himmelman a lot more offensive opportunities and everybody else on the floor.
What do you know? Humphreys throws it up, won't go. Humphreys, you like to see him though, taking that 3 ball, opening his shot up.
Yeah, definitely a good shooter out there for the Leafs. Got to get him to just get hot too, just like the rest of our shooters. Just having trouble making that 3 ball right now.
Down to 15, and the Pirates look to hold it for the remaining seconds of the third quarter. Counting down to 8. Leafs lead it by 1 point. Down to 5, driving. Phillips around the rim, won't go. Down to 2. It's going to be a half quarter by Humphreys. Off the mark. That's how the third quarter ends. Leafs lead it by 1, 32-33. We'll be back for the fourth quarter.
This TV50 telecast is sponsored in part by Hazelwood Homes, Geneseo Dairy Queen, Eric Henderson and Greg Anderson of Country Financial, Turpins of Geneseo, Geneseo Telephone Company, Central Bank, B&B Lawn Equipment and Cyclery, Snap Fitness, Vandemore Funeral Homes, Holland & Sons, Northside Rexall Drug, Hammond Henry Hospital, ProTech Auto Body, Farmers National Bank. Please patronize these sponsors and let them know you appreciate their support of this TV50 telecast.
33-32, Leafs lead it by 1 here as we start fourth quarter from Geneseo High School. It's been a game of the Bulldogs trying to shut down Drew and the Leafs trying to shut down Sokol, and so far the Leafs are winning as Sokol's been pretty quiet in this contest.
Not Vickers so far, though. He has 10 points. He's one of their better players as well, and he got hot in that third quarter. Getting 8 of his 10 in that third quarter. You're seeing some Wolak action back out there on the floor. Didn't get to see much of him in that third period.
Humphreys now up top. Rusk kind of taking control there. Top of the key, dribbling in, and he comes up with 2 points.
Yeah, Russ split the double team right there, the help side defense. Easy floater in the lane for him. That's a good look.
Sokol, leave him open and he'll make it.
Yeah, he gets that open three-point look. He's a hot shooter outside.
Miscommunication there, left Sokol open, and he came up with a three-pointer, and we're tied at 35-all. Leafs with the ball, though. 7 minutes left to go in this contest. Inside, Humphreys. Going to be a blocking foul.
Getting Himmelman hot right now in that third quarter is giving everybody else that opportunity to drive inside now without that double team going, and it's making it a lot easier for the Leafs on the offensive end.
Humphreys on the line to shoot. Free throw won't go. A junior coming back from ACL surgery last year. Coming back and being a major force for the Leafs this year. Rebound, Wolak. Foul called on the Pirates. 5 and 3 are the foul counts. Leafs with 5 team fouls.
A big rebound there by Wolak right there, getting the offensive board and the foul, trying to even up the foul count a little bit. Maple Leafs have played a lot cleaner quarter at the end of that third.
Radu's got it. Inside the lane, 4 guys on him, in and out. Drew Himmelman, taller than the rest, comes up with 2 points. You can just see him down there in the lane, sticks up, taller than all the other guys.
Yeah, almost could have thrown that one home too on the tip up, but good basket by him, really getting his points here in this second half.
You're listening to us live. We got a little update as sectional wrestling is happening. Brandon Mislow, Ryan Pitcher, Lane Akery, Cole Hunzacker, Josiah Kropp, Cody Borman, Hunter Graw, and John Warner and Nick Ant are all advancing on to the state competition. Nick Verbeck is still waiting to wrestle. Traveling violation on Rusk. Bulldogs start with it here. 6:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Leafs lead it by 2 points.
Leafs really extending that defense a lot. You see Humphreys guarding them at half court out there, not giving them any space.
Phillips has been a guy that's really stepped up in this contest. He's got 10. Him and Vickers also both have 10.
Phillips kind of the silent warrior. Wasn't expecting very much out of him, but in the starting lineup here tonight, he's really putting together a good performance out there for Streator, knotting up the game at 37.
Sokol's got a quiet 8 points. He's got an early three-pointer, just got a three-pointer, and a basket somewhere in between. It's going to be a foul called. Down low, they're going to either reduce, trying to find out if he was shooting or not, and they say he wasn't. Snyder, Bravada, and Milky check in. Rusk, Wolak, and Humphreys take a seat down.
Very limited action out here for Bravada so far. Played at the end of that second quarter, now coming in for the fourth quarter. First time coming in the second half.
Luke Snyder posting up down low.
And not a very common look you see from Snyder. Usually he's playing his outside game, taking that short corner jumper.
Miscommunication between Snyder and Radu, and sails out of bounds. Bulldogs ball.
Radu hustles right back, and he gets right on Sokol, just not giving him any room, all over him in that corner.
Driving inside. Phillips drops it outside to Godfrey. Tied at 37's all. Down to 4:55 left to go in this one. Inside. Phillips gets bailed out with a foul call.
Phillips is tough to guard. He's got a really quick burst there outside, able to get around defenders very easily out there.
16 fouls. Will be shooting for the rest of this one from the free throw line. Free throw sinks it. Does Phillips.
Giving them that 1-point lead. They haven't had a lead for a while here. Maple Leafs been holding it all this fourth quarter.
Second one connects also. Puts the visitors up by 2.
Leafs got to get Himmelman going again here. Hasn't had any points in this fourth quarter.
Milky looked like he wanted it. Over to Snyder. Snyder, 3-ball. Won't go. Is he going to get his own rebound? He does. Inside, 4 guys on him, and it's Milky for 3. Yes! Jordan Milky.
He knew he hit that one right away. He was already jogging back a little bit after he hit that one, so.
Confidence, you gotta love it as the Leafs go up by 1, 40-39.
What a great find by Snyder, though, right there.
Jumper from the elbow. He can drive and he can stop and put it up. Phillips with 2 points there.
Yeah, Phillips with 14. Really a good ball player out there. Very full game. Haven't seen a 3-point shot from him, but otherwise, very good offensive player.
Snyder with the hard drive, rebound Himmelman, then it was rebound Bravada, and then it was rebound Himmelman again, and Himmelman puts it up. Rebounding is what has helped the Leafs stay in this one.
Yeah, you can't give the Leafs 3 opportunities to try and score and expect to get a defensive stop.
So far, it's just been Phillips drive to the hoop and put it up. Ball's tipped all around, and then we're going with the Leafs. Really not even an offense being run here lately. It's just been Phillips with the ball, driving into the hoop or driving and stopping, throwing it up.
Yeah, he's been throwing up a lot of shots, but he's been pretty hot in this fourth quarter, so why not keep going to him?
Milky with the hot hand. Goes over to Bravada and doesn't know what he was doing there. Kind of threw it up into the stands. And
he threw that to, actually the managers in the second row is where he threw that one to over here.
Little miscue there by Milky, but Rusk will check in. 3:10 to go in this contest. Leafs lead it by 1 point. Be a pretty big conference win for the Leafs if they could get this one. Be 2-5 in conference. Sokol, top of the key. And we find out why he is such a good shooter.
You give him an inch of space, he's going to nail that 3-pointer. You got to stay on him all night long. We let Redu take a break off, put Rusk on him for a possession, and there you go, there's a 3-pointer.
Yeah, such a good basketball player. And Himmelman outside, Rusk back into Himmelman. Going inside to Himmelman opens the outside shots. He's got 2 guys all over him. And that's a good foul call by the official.
Yeah, all over him, and Russ saw that, so he just kept trying to give the ball to him and trying to draw the foul over there.
That will be the 5th team foul. Bulldogs still have 1 more to give. Another foul called on the Bulldogs.
Phillips really does not like that one right there, Zach. Yelling at the officials saying no, but good move by Redu and great inbounds play drawn up by Coach Storm.
Both teams with 6 team fouls will be shooting free throws for the rest of this contest. Free throws good by Redu. Leafs trail by 1, 43-44. Free throws good.
Good player
Ties it up.
Good player to have at the line there right now, Zach. Ethan Redu, not many free throws even shot for the Leafs, but Ethan Redu is the player you want at the line. He's the best free throw shooter for the Leafs ball club.
Phillips really close to a 3, but it's a 2. Puts the Bulldogs up by 2, down to 2:15. It's starting to become crunch time here for the Leafs. Gonna have to find a way to stop Phillips and Sokol.
Yeah, back and forth game though right now, Zach. They got to find a way to stop our offense as well.
Offensive charge. Player controlled, so no free throws will be shot here. It's going to be called on Snyder.
I don't know who took the charge there, though. Two players went flying back, and both tried to flop down.
Coach Downey takes a 30-second timeout. Talk over with his team. As Coach Storm will, too, and see he brings the good old drawing board out, draw something up. What do you change defensively, Jake, to try to stop this Phillips Sokol roundup so far?
You got to stay in a man-to-man defense, and I say right now Sokol's hot right now, so I'd just say I'm going to put bravado on him on the defensive end, and then move Radu over there to Phillips and try and guard him up because I think Radu's just as fast as he is. You can't switch to a zone against this team because they definitely can shoot the basketball.
Himmelman's got 15 as he's averaging 17. And Radu's got all of his as he's got 10, averaging 9.5. Those are the two leaders over there for the Leafs. You got three guys over there on the Bulldogs side of things. The main leader, Sokol, with 11 points, Vickers with 10 points, and Phillips with 16 points. Phillips finds the ball in his hand right now.
And they did the defensive switch, I said, except they're putting Rusk on Sokol, kind of a different move, but Rusk not always known for his defense, but playing good defense on that possession.
Nice one there as Godfrey had the open lane, tried to dish it out into the hands of a Leaf, and now the Leafs try to tie it up here. 1:35 to play in the contest.
Leafs not afraid to take their time on this possession, Zach, really looking for that open shot.
Greg Russ likes to lob it in there to Himmelman, and they come up with it every time as there's 2 points for Drew Himmelman.
And Greg Russ finding a great angle to get it into the Drew Himmelman. He's really just dominated inside against that single team.
Showing how good that play really does work. Back-to-back possessions as Phillips won't go, rebound Rusk. It's kind of trapped. It's going to be a timeout, Coach Storm. Takes a full one here with exactly 1 minute on the clock, tied up at 46, and the Leafs get a shot to take the lead back. Been a back and forth contest for most of this one.
Yeah, back and forth contest it has been. They're tied up right here with a minute left, so just the basketball you want to see, Zach, here on a Friday night.
It's a conference matchup in the Northern Illinois Big 12. One of the last time these teams may see as conference foes, as Streator and Dixon will be leaving the conference. Rochelle, who the Leafs play tomorrow, will be coming over from the other side of the conference. So it will be 5-5 on both sides of the conference. Still going to be called, though, the Northern Illinois Big 12 Conference.
Just like the Big 12 in college athletics,
yeah.
Only on 10 teams. So staying with the name, and it'll be an exciting conference next year, but it'll be difficult to lose an up-and-coming Dixon team and also the Streator team that's always dangerous every night.
Yeah, boys basketball for both these teams is pretty phenomenal for them. One of their go-to sports. We send our attention back to the court here. Leafs get it out of bounds under the Bulldogs basket. Exactly 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, Zach, but upcoming games right now, you got Rochelle, Sterling, and Dixon. So 3 very tough teams coming up here for the Leafs. They really got to pick up their play.
They could find themselves at 4-5 in conference play if they pick up a couple wins here this week and the next week. Down to 45 seconds. Do they hold it, Jake?
You know, I wouldn't say you'd hold for the last shot here. You only hold it if it's necessary. You just keep holding the ball until you find a nice open look and just try and take the lead here.
I got a feeling Drew Himmelman may have the ball in his hands as this counts down to 30 seconds.
Either that or Ethan Radu. Ethan Radu can definitely create his own shot. And Sokol's really extended the defense on him as well.
We saw a close one last night. We see another one tonight. Inside to Himmelman. He's got a shot to put the Leafs ahead, and it's going to be a foul call. He'll go to the line. 18 seconds left in the contest. We're all tied up, and this is when the pressure really comes on you.
Yeah, the pressure's on you, and it's Drew Himmelman on the line. Not always the best free throw shooter, but definitely a good free throw shooter out there for the Leafs. Hopefully he can sink them both here.
There's one. Leafs have the lead now with 18 seconds left on the clock. 47-46, they lead it over the Bulldogs. second one, too. You talked about it earlier. He's been working in the offseason, and it pays off here in conference play. Now the Bulldogs got a shot to either take the lead or tie it.
Yep.
And Coach Dottie takes a timeout.
Yeah, good timeout by him. Look for a little pick and roll action here with Phillips and Vickers even. Vickers or Sokol, you could use a little pick and roll, a little pick and pop play for them.
You see the Bulldogs going for 2 points and trying to tie it up here overtime maybe in the future.
You know, Zach, it really depends on what they get. If they run the pick and roll and you got a wide open 3, why not take it? That's their specialty. They can just send this one and get home early.
We'll see what they decide. 48-46. Both coaches have the drawing boards out. We'll see most likely as Phillips leads all scoring. He would be the guy that we find Ethan Redu guarding, and you would see Greg Russ guarding Sokol.
He's got to stay tight on Sokol. He cannot lose him. No help side from Russ. Stay out on Sokol. Don't give him that open 3 to even give him a shot to win this ball game.
We'll see what the Bulldogs decide here. 11.2 is left on the clock after 2 free throws from Drew Himmelman. The Leafs lead it by 2. Now they got to come up with a stop, and they've been pretty good on the defensive side this contest. Low scoring affair here so far, 48-46.
Yeah, fairly low scoring affair, but in this fourth quarter, it's been back and forth action all the way through.
Got to get the ball in, and they don't. The freshman gets his hands on it, and that's got to be the ball game. The freshman comes through for the Leafs, Anthony Bravada.
Can't call it the ball game yet, Zach. He's got to make both these free throws right here. These are huge free throws, big time for the freshman.
His first teammate shooting for Geneseo, Anthony Bravada.
The weight comes down on his shoulders here, and free throw won't go. Leafs still lead it by 2, down to 8 seconds. They know they got to work fast. Past the half-court line, 4 seconds now. It doesn't look like they're going to get it off. A 3 ball. No! The Leafs walk away with it.
Yeah, there's a big victory right there, and you got to give credit to everybody on the floor, but Anthony Bravada, the freshman, comes up when you need it most. Who would you go to right there? Who would think that Anthony Bravada, the freshman on the team, would make the big play when they needed it most?
He comes through, and he gives the Leafs a victory, 48-46. A victory that the Leafs definitely could use as they've gone on a little drought here lately.
Yeah, a little bit of a drought, but this is a big victory. 3 huge games before regionals coming up. We'll see if they can get a little winning streak and a lot of confidence going into that regional contest.
After a conference win there, the Leafs advance to 2-5 on the year. The Leafs get them back, so between the Bulldogs, the Leafs split the series 1-1. Leafs overall advance to 10-13 on the year. Again, the Leafs will play tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, varsity start. Any closing comments for us, Jake?
No, that's all I got, Zach. I think it's just important to say that this is a big game for the Leafs, and it's exactly the confidence they needed. It's good to see Drew Himmelman get hot.
Sounds good, Jake. That's going to wrap things up here from Geneseo High School. For Jacob Beeth, Keith Kennett, I'm Zach Mackey. Saying the Maple Leafs win tonight. We'll see you